teaching Geography Form 2. Our topic today is agriculture. Before seeing the topic of agriculture, the last lesson we discussed concerning human activities, which was covered different contents. We discussed concerning the concept of human activities. We discussed concerning the importance of human activities and the types of human activities. But nowadays, as we have discussed at the previous lesson, that human activity have been categorized into five types. Number one is primary human activities. Number two is secondary human activities. Number three is tertiary human activities. Number four is quaternary human activities. And number five is quinary human activities. But today is agriculture, which is found in the first part of type of human activities, which is primary human activities. So our topic today will be covered into several contents. Number one is the meaning of agriculture. Number two, we will see concerning the type of agriculture. Number three, we should see the different meanings and the characteristics of small-scale agriculture. Starting with the meaning of agriculture. Agriculture is the general term. We can define agriculture into different ways, but for now we can say agriculture is the part of human activities that involve in cultivation of crops and livestock keeping. Another why we are saying it is agriculture as the part of human activities, and this we are saying it is a part of human activities because it is found on our environment. Also, this agriculture helps to provide the raw material which are used into different activities, like providing raw material which can be used in industries. Another, we can say it provides raw material which can be used in fishing activities. Also, it is very essential, this type of human activity, because it provides food to human being. Another means which can be used in this topic, different terms like arable farming. These are the terminologies which can be used in agriculture. So the arable farming is the particular or is agricultural activity that involves crop cultivation and animal keeping. This is the crop cultivation. They are cultivating the maize. So this type is based in agriculture. Another term which can be used is pastoral farming. The pastoral farming, this involves of keeping of animals. We have different animals, cows, goats, pigs. Also, poultry can be involved in livestock keeping or pastoral farming. Another term which can be used in agriculture is mixed farming. The mixed farming is the type of agriculture which you can keep a pastoralist or a farmer can be keeping animal in the second hand, can be involved in cultivation of crops, as you have seen in the picture as shown. Number four, we can say intensive farming. Intensive farming, this involves cultivating small area of the land by intention of having high amount of production. Why getting high amount of production? Because you have using advanced technology. You use fertilizers, you use manure, also you can use some machines, modified machines, which can be used in obtaining some good and new products. Another term is extensive farming. Extensive farming, this is involved much of keeping the large amount of animals in a big area, as you have seen in the picture. This is the ranch. A ranch is an example of extensive farming. Also, you can say commercial farming. The commercial farming, this involves production of the goods which can be used for selling. Example, we can use the tea harvesting, this tea plantation, which can be in commercial farming. Another thing we can say is the nomadic pastoralism. Nomadic pastoralism, this involves the keeping of animals which a farmer keeps on moving from one place to another by searching of water and pasture. For example, in our country we have people who are practicing this kind of livestock keeping, that Maasai and Sukuma in the northern part. This is the example of the Maasai who is moving with their cattle from one place to another. The aim is to find the pasture. Once you are seeing this picture, it means the land is too dry. So once it is too dry, most of the livestock keepers, they do move from one place to another in order to find the pastures and the water. This is the example of the person who is moving with his or her own cattle. Another term is transhumance. Transhumance is an agricultural system which involves a farmer moving seasonally from one place to another, searching for pasture and water. We should differentiate these two terms, transhumance and this term and livestock keeping, which is pastoralism. A pastoralist moves from one place to another, finding for pasture and water, while he or she don't have a permanent settlement. While in transhumance, a person who is involving in this activity has permanent settlement. And this type of agricultural activities, it is common in Switzerland, where the transhumers, they are moving from the valley of slope of mountain. This is the picture how these transhumans, they are moving. They do move from the lowland area to the upperland area. So once they move seasonally, they move during the winter, most of them, they do move in the lowerland area. And then during the summer, they do move into the upperland area in order to find those material. Another is plantation. A plantation, it can be used in a small farms or in the large farms. But a plantation involving much in producing the crops which can be in large area. This can be for food crops, also for cash crops. But for those people who are involving much nowadays in this plantation, they are involving much in cash crop production. As you have seen in the picture, we have seen that this is the cotton. A cotton is a cash crop. We do produce cotton for production of the clothes which we wear nowadays. Types of agriculture. Agriculture can be categorized into two types. Number one is small-scale agriculture. Number two is large-scale agriculture. Starting with small-scale agriculture, we can define small-scale agriculture is the farming system that practices on a relative small area or plots of the usually does not exceed to 5 hectares. It is small. The purpose of small-scale agriculture is by producing commercial or by producing food crops. Characteristics of small-scale agriculture. We have the labor force. This is characteristic number one. Labor force, it means those people who are involved in cultivation, or in keeping animals. So when you use labor force in small-scale agriculture, most of the labor force, they are within their own family. If they are 3 of them, it means they can be used in those processes of agricultural activities. Why the labor force is the main characteristic? Because they don't have enough fund to hire some other laborers from the other family. Another characteristic is by using simple tools. Simple tools, which is using in small-scale agriculture, is, we can say, a handy hoe farming, as you have seen in this picture. It means this, they are using the handy hoe. This handy hoe is mostly used by those people who are engaging much in small-scale agriculture. Why using simple tools? Because they lack fund to buy modified machines like a tractor. They don't have any technology on how to improve their tools. So the simple tools also is the characteristics of small-scale agriculture. Another characteristic is more crops are grown at the same time. Why we are saying more crops? It means you can plant maize in the same field or in the same plot. Maize, beans, or you can say bananas, they are present in the same field. So most of them, why they are intercropping this? They intercrop because these legumes plants, they involve in regulating the fertility of the soil. So they do plant this for that part. Also, they do plant this one in order to increase their own products, because they don't have enough fund to go and cultivate into the variety of the land. So if they don't have, the same land can be used to produce more than one crop. Another is very little or no surplus. The surplus or the produced crops are very little. They are not sufficient for them to sell, but they are few, and this, if they are few, there is no any surplus. It means the food, it is obtained for only for consumption, hand to mouth activity. Another, we can say the size of the land. The land is being fragmented into small portions to their own family. So they occupy the small area, they don't have any money to buy another area. So if they are inheriting from their ancestors, they inherit the land, and if that child have bear some of the children, they can redistribute of that land. So most of them, they get the land by inheriting from their ancestors. So they don't have enough land. This is the characteristic. Another, we can say little or no use of technology. Most of them, they are using the seeds, or can use manure to improve the soil fertility. And the seeds, they don't have money to buy the new seed or the modified seed. They use to plant those seeds which have been inherited or planted by their own elders. So this is the problem for these farmers. Also, we can use, mainly they do produce food crops. These food crops are millet, sunflower, vegetables, and maize. Why they do produce this one? It means they produce in order to sustain their own life. They don't have any fund to create or to have another way of producing cash crops. But these food crops also, on the other hand, for their own activity, they use it to sell in order to generate their own money. This is the end of our lesson today, but the next time we will discuss further the importance or advantage of small-scale agriculture, problems and the disadvantage of small-scale agriculture, as well as we can discuss some of the ways on how to improve this small-scale agriculture, because it is more useful, more important to our daily life. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.